right, so believe it or not, guys, J.K. Rowling is not a bastion of free speech as much as many people seem to think.
Get out.
Get out of here. Break him, she says. J.K. Rowling says of InfoWars' Alex Jones. She thinks he should suffer more. What do you think, Mary?
I mean, J.K. Rowling is playing a dangerous game by tempting the same media machine to be ruthless to somebody else when she has transgressed against the same system. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure a lot of you do because this was big news. Alex Jones was ordered to pay about $1 billion in compensatory damages.
Why not $1 trillion?
And that's not even including the additional punitive damages that he's going to have to pay out for a lawsuit related to, I think it's defamation, related to the families of Sandy Hook victims. I don't really want to get into our opinions about that or his opinions about Sandy Hook. That's kind of irrelevant. But J.K. Rowling tweeted in response to this situation saying, "Still not enough. There is literally nothing he could do that could make right what he put those families through. But I hope this breaks him." This is just awfully ironic coming from someone who is threatened with the same depersoning.
Yeah, I wonder,
pretty much every day.
What if we reread it and said, still not enough? There's literally nothing she could do that could make right what she's done to those families of transgender individuals.
Yeah.
I hope it breaks her.
Yeah, and I was just recently seeing all of these tweets from like people who have been creative employees on different Warner Brothers, Harry Potter related licensed products. Yeah. And they all seem to be arguing that J.K. Rowling shouldn't receive royalties from Harry Potter licensed products. They were mad about the amount of creative control she has over them, and her team has to approve everything about them. And if you really dig down to their ultimate point, it's that because this woman, because the author of Harry Potter has these views on gender ideology that we deeply disagree with, she should not be able to make a living or make a profit or get credit for her original works.
Yep.
And that's really all about depersoning someone, taking them down to the level of like survival. Like it's actually,
yeah, it's what they want.
They do want to take away your ability to actually just survive if you have viewpoints that transgress against this blue check media driven depersoning agenda.
Yep. So here's a tweet of her from 2018. "You're free to offend. The rest of us are free to say we're offended. That's what freedom of speech means." What's funny about it is the UK has far less protections on freedom of speech than the US does.
Dude, all UK people are always obsessed about what's happening here.
So,
it's all every time. I don't think I've ever seen like a UK person not talk about the US.
Yep.
It's incredible.
They seem to think that they have a meaningful right to free expression over there, and they certainly don't.
Meanwhile, people get arrested
many
for Facebook
documented
posts.
many documented situations where citizens in the UK are visited at their homes over things they post online that are not even about like inciting violence or any illegal activity, but simply what they deem as hate speech.
Yep.
And I searched through J.K. Rowling's Twitter for all of her mentions of the importance of freedom of speech, but also her condemnations of hate speech, which directly oppose that viewpoint.
Yep.
And I found an address she gave to PEN America, which is poets, essayists, novelists. They're like a literary free expression organization. And she lauded free speech, especially in relation to what Donald Trump was saying that she found reprehensible. So she said, intolerance of alternative viewpoints is spreading to places that make me, a moderate and a liberal, most uncomfortable. I find almost everything that Mr. Trump says objectionable. I consider him offensive and bigoted, but he has my full support to come to my country and be offensive and bigoted there. His freedom to speak protects my freedom to call him a bigot. his freedom guarantees mine. If you seek the removal of freedoms from an opponent simply on the grounds that they have offended you, you've crossed the line to stand alongside tyrants who imprison, torture, and kill on exactly the same justification. So, J.K. Rowling seems like a very principled freedom of speech advocate.
Until
it goes against
Dude,
her particular viewpoints that are important to her.
I bet she doesn't even know why she doesn't like him.
Well, no, she probably thinks that. So is that to say, like, that she thinks that he's responsible for his followers or the people that like him going to the houses of the people there
Dude,
and harassing them?
If you were to tell her, I want you to tell me 2 things about Alex Jones you don't like, and you can't mention Sandy Hook, she'd be stopped.
Yeah.
And it's like how...
It's like Olivia Wilde brain dead take on Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. It's like...
You don't even know anything about this person.
She'd mention the frogs.
You're side-eyeing the money.
She'd mention the frogs.
We're eating good tonight, Brett.
Yeah. We're getting steak.
Oh, yeah.
I want to read some other tweets that she made about freedom of speech, just to really hammer it home. Like, she is a total hypocrite on this issue. She said, freedom of speech in practice, to someone saying that Harry Potter sucks. You're free to say it. I'm free to tell you that art is subjective. Even if you don't like Harry Potter, there's probably a book out there you'll truly love. The important thing is to keep reading. Good luck. And then in regards to the gender ideology issues that are really important to her, she said, I'm grateful to all academics who are standing up for freedom of speech and thought at a time when both are under attack. I'm proud to stand with you and your continued commitment to the values of enlightenment.
Well, she doesn't believe that because she wants to start silencing people because they said something that they don't like about an incident that didn't happen anywhere near where she lives.
Right. I mean, she is known to stick her nose in situations that don't concern her.
So,
like, she's addicted to Twitter, I think.
Is the logic here supposed to be that she's off the hook because she didn't incite her fans to go do anything? I'm trying to follow her logic here. Is he somehow worse because she thinks that he persuaded his fans to go do something which we clearly know didn't happen?
Okay, but if the ideologues who oppose J.K. Rowling set out to prove that she has incited her own fan base to do objectionable things like harassment to trans people, I'm sure they could come up with some dubious claims about it and then blame her for it. And they already have basically accused her of homicidal intent against trans people, which
they
I find incredulous. Yep. That's stupid.
That's what really surprises me about people like her. Because obviously she knows the power of the internet to take things completely out of left field and out of context and exaggerate your intentions. And yet, for some reason, when it's someone that's out of the outwork group for their dinner parties, they can't ever seem to wrap their freaking hands around the fact that this may be happening to them.
Some people have mistakenly, almost pigeonholed J.K. Rowling as a champion of not only free speech, but their personal views about women's rights or gender issues. I mean,
never side with an individual, side with the ideas that you support. Because eventually every individual will let you down in some way, shape, or form. Because, and I see this a lot. It's the same thing happens on this side of the aisle, right? A lot of people, they support everyone until they realize that they don't agree on some important issue, and then all of a sudden they start attacking each other, and I hate that.
Yeah.
Attack the idea, not the individual.
Imagine if I had to side with you on everything. I had to accept Ben Affleck as a good Batman.
It does suck that you have to be wrong so often, but that's fine. Me and Mary agree on pretty much nothing most of the time.
Now that I think about it, let's name one thing we can agree on.
Tipping 20%.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about tipping earlier.
Yes. Guys.
And I insulted Mary for no reason.
He said I look like a bad tipper, and then he said that I look like a liberal white woman.
She does.
Now, I look like a white woman because I am one, but I am not liberal.
Also, guys,
She's not.
I was also told that boomers are the exclusively bad tipping generation.
They are.
We were getting into a big old argument. I mean, really, my dads were arguing in front of me, and it was rather traumatic. They were arguing about
your therapy bill will be much more expensive later.
Like the difference between how different generations treat wait staff, and we were saying like boomers are really mean to wait staff a lot of the time.
But apparently I was just raised right because that wasn't my experience in my household.
Guys, like, please tell me this isn't just anecdotal. Like, pretty much every time I've gone to dinner with boomers, I've had to apologize to the waiter and kind of like mannerisms. Like, I'm sorry, it's a different generation.
No.
We probably agree. I mean, we agree on this. We agree
Sure.
on this topic, but in general, we don't agree on a lot of like the bigger issues. But that's kind of the point. Like, you can disagree with somebody on stuff and still get along. She can't. She could disagree with what Alex Jones is saying, but understand that it's still his right to say it. But I don't know why she would feel the need to say this. I don't know what social capital she regains. The people that hate her aren't going to start liking her again because she said this.
No, you're right, bro. She's addicted to Twitter. Like, she just loves to give an opinion every freaking second she got. She loves to do that, and she loves to like suddenly introduce like, oh, by the way, Hermione's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, like
what?
the same exact audience of diversity, equity, inclusion, obsessives that she courted all of these years before she was universally like derided for her views on transgenderism.
Yep.
That same exact audience is now lambasting her and trying to argue that she shouldn't make money anymore.
She doesn't even have really, honestly, opinions on trans people. She's just like...
She just likes the attention.
No, she just says like, yeah, I think women should do women things. And it's like, what?
I mean, really, what she is and what a lot of people fail to identify her as is just a second wave feminist. And there are naturally disagreements that...
Basically a Nazi today.
I mean, I guess so, yeah. And her enforcing that double standard now is called out by the people who hate her for her views on gender and also the people who sympathize with her for her views on gender. The hypocrisy is just that brazen that everyone can see it.
I'm just over the sympathizing part.
I never even like...
Everyone needs to just...
I always thought her views on gender and her public outspokenness about it has been more of an attention-seeking effort than anything.
The best thing you can do is not look to attach any type of belief to an individual and attach it to the ideas they hold. That's why when you start chipping away at what a person believes, you still hold on to what you actually feel for that person. Like, I actually get worried sometimes when like, I don't want people to like... I don't want to feel like I get along with someone better just because they agree with me or because we have similar belief systems, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I enjoy that like a lot of my friends back in Minnesota, not all of them, but I'm saying like a lot of the people that I used to grow up skating with are very different than me politically. And that's fine. I like that. I like that we have other things that we connect on a different level on, because I don't want politics or social issues to be the thing I connect with everyone on. I want it to go deeper than that. I want more of a connection with people, because in the end, these things are all surface level issues to me, surface level issues that affect you more on a computer, in a chat room, and in a comment section than they do when you're out going from place to place during the day, going to Target, going to the gas station. You're not arguing with people about trans rights at the gas station.
And
I certainly hope you're not. If you are, please get help.
And I gotta be real with you. This is gonna come off as a joke, but I'm being completely serious. Typically, the political conversations you have with the general people are never as interesting as the general conversation of like, what's better, pancakes, waffles, or French toast. Yeah. I swear to God, because every political conversation is like, well, my favorite person thinks this, so as a result, that's my opinion too.
Yeah. It's the least interesting thing to talk about.
For real.
It doesn't actually tell you anything about the person.
I would rather talk to people about how much they tip someone and get into what the hell the psychology of that is. Mm-hmm. Then I would. Even that is kind of
and like us arguing about how boomers treat wait staff is more interesting than arguing about like Biden or like geopolitics.
It's stupid. Like,
I mean, that's why this show exists. It's to create a place for that.
We can make the world a better place if every time in the real world somebody starts to start a political discussion, you just go nerd.
By the way,
and just shame them into not talking about it.
the standard tip is 15%. I think that's always been right.
I think 20.
But that feels like post-pandemic, like you guys are doing bad, but like, come on.
Okay, then what's your opinion?
By the way, do you wonder what James Corden tips people? I was reading more about James Corden's
It seems like he eats a lot.
Restaurant,
so hopefully a lot.
Yeah, his restaurant banning scandal.
Yeah,
and he's apparently known to treat waitstaff like this, and also his own family badly in public.
Yeah.
In like numerous occasions throughout the years. I read this story that he was on a plane and his wife was sitting in business class while he was in first class, so as to shield him from his own baby crying. Well, and then she got escorted by a flight attendant into first class, and he like basically acted as if she were a complete stranger, turned away from her, put on headphones and a sleep mask over his eyes. Yep. And then at the end of the flight, she was getting their luggage out of the overhead bin, and he wouldn't even like hold their kid to help her like get stuff out of the bin. And that's when people realized that they were like, that they knew each other, because some people thought he was being decent by like not resenting this stranger for having a crying kid, but it's literally his wife.
Yep.
And there was another situation that actually one of the Try Guys' wives talked about on TikTok, where she saw James Corden screaming at a busboy in LA because he was mad that they close in between lunch and dinner time, and that like he couldn't get waited on at that exact moment.
Yeah.
Like, how entitled do you have to be?
See,
this is why you shouldn't like idolize these people, whether it's J.K. Rowling for ideological reasons or James Corden because you think he's charming and funny. Like, you don't really know who these people are in their private lives or what they stand for and what their personal relationships are like.
Idolize me.
I mean, yeah, idolize the marketing man extraordinaire, but other than that, don't make a parasocial connection with someone like a
you guys
James
know what
Corden
I stand
or a J.K.
for?
Rowling. This is a literal multi-billionaire talking about the gravity of $1 billion that Alex Jones has to pay out to these victims. I don't think you would think that her wealth would help her understand the weight of that, what $1 billion means and what it's capable of doing. And if anything, I guess it's just made her completely blind to what they're asking of him.
Desensitized a bit.
She's desensitized to the meaning of that wealth.
Yep.
But then she wants to go on Twitter and dunk on people saying like, well, I still get my royalty checks in the mail.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool and everything, but you're addicted to online attention and no amount of money is good enough for you.
Anytime you hear any of us support any position, or even if you say you like, I like this guy, like never assume that what you're saying is that you're actually saying you like them or idolize these people as people. They're just kind of public figures that you have to judge based on what you see that's in front of you. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see her kind of, I don't know who could put her in her place, but she's not going to listen to them anyway.
Well, there were so many replies to her tweet calling her out. I mean, someone said, when they come after you for saying women are women, remember this tweet.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for. The same machine is after you too.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually, when you think about it, it seems like it would have been more likely that they'd go after her.
Yeah.
Than after the issue she's covering than after what Alex Jones was covering.
Another person said, someone who says socially unpopular things about gender probably shouldn't be encouraging government censure of wrongthink.
Yeah, I'm saying it's the fact that it was done through the courts that's terrifying, that she doesn't realize the implications of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
and the same thing could happen to her.
It just blows my mind that she's a recipient of 24/7 backlash, and she just cannot comprehend that maybe some things are getting taken out of context.
Yep. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.